Yeah, you guys. Hey, we're getting ready here. We're going to sit back and try to cover some sports. For all of you guys who are suffering through football-itis or the lack of football, we're going to see if we can put some spin on what we think will be a ratified contract conversation. Maybe by next Monday, man, we'll be able to tell you the contract is done. The fight over $9 billion in revenue is over. Maybe.
So you know what we're going to be talking about? There's a two-headed Vic. And the Matrix Vic's coming out. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for New Sportz, written, directed, produced by Victor Allen, as he gets into the alternative side of sports. Here's Victor.
You know what? We actually start the show off, you guys, talking about how much we don't really prepare. And then he goes in and says, well, written, produced, and everything.
I wanted to give credit where credit was due.
Okay.
That's also where they can stop writing me. Right, Victor?
Right.
Well, these sports people kind of get a little obsessed sometimes.
Oh, yeah, they get real
They get kind of
upset.
uptight,
Yes, they do.
Sometimes I say, get a life now. Remember, It is a game.
It's fun.
But right, Victor.
Yes.
So.
And like I said, I do a lot of pre-production on this stuff, you guys.
I can tell. He's got wonderful, take a look at these wonderful visual aids. Just nothing like the wonderful visual aids. And he's up, so you notice he's up at 5. Now, I ain't lying. I ain't getting up at 5. I ain't getting up at 5 to do this. Okay, y'all. Sometimes I'm going to bed at 5. Shit. 5. It ain't that a bit.
Well, see, the reason why I got to do this is because, major media rises and shine on the East Coast. And that's like, their 8 a.m. is our 5 a.m. So if you're not there, they're already in the studio on stage already reporting. So if you get up 3 hours behind them, the story's already being delivered to you at their time. That's why I have to do that, man.
And ladies and gentlemen, and he does. That's why New Sportz, the product of Victor Allen, everybody. Where's my sound effect?
And why he does
Go,
that.
Vic.
I got to find out. I like to ask the questions because I really don't know the answers, you guys. Welcome to New Sportz, where it's only two cats who believe they know sports, and we really are like barbershop addicts.
We know sports.
We cut our hair, and we'll talk about sports as much as possible.
We do.
But I have to go back. There's three cats in the game right now relating to the NFL. And the first guy, I just had to ask this question. It's not a big topic right now as it relates to how you may see it framed, but I have to ask the question, did Steeler linebacker James Harrison know his Goodell comments can't be penalized? This is a timing issue where you go...
Oh, because of the break?
Yes, because
I hope he did. Oh, that means he would have been smart about it?
Right. That's
Talk shit and get away with it in a way that's intelligent. Gone. There, now you could have said something worse.
See, that's what I'm saying.
You could have made a sexual reference.
See, my whole point was that he timed everything here. He had the book coming out. He had the whole thing. He says, hey, if there's a time I can wear the guns to promote my book, talk smack, and all the other shit that you like to talk about.
Well, you said the S word.
Yeah, I get away with now and then.
Okay.
But if he gets away with this, the part that they say, they're trying to go over this, I said, this man has to be a little bit smarter than possible. Now, with that, probable.
Because they're asking everybody, and they making everybody comment on it. Have you noticed that?
Everybody is.
Everybody they ask. Right. Every sports show, what do you think about what Harrison said?
Well, here's the question. An attorney, which Goodell and others who are in his position, strong backgrounds in, they never make a move unless they go legal first. Right. Then they come and get you.
Exactly.
Here's the question. Can the NFL commissioner, I don't know why I put that in, it's my publishing itis. Can the NFL commissioner enforce penalties to players with no contract? And, there's some morality clause and all that stuff.
Maybe he can wait till it comes back and then get them.
But how can you do that under a contract that doesn't exist at the time?
I'd have to ask the legal people, because I know, though, that sometimes I'd be dubious.
No.
And if you tell me that they've checked it already, cool. If not, I'd say don't make that mistake.
Hey, look, they have to have a contract. And do you believe they have this? In case of a contract boycott or a breakdown where a contract is not a provision under the current players or NFL owners, these rules will still be enforced. There's no contract that I know of that they report that says that condition exists.
But they have all those other clauses that go just detrimental to the league.
They can do that only if it's under contract.
I don't know. I don't know. Well, see, I'd have to have a legal person because I don't know, because those are things defined. You'd have to have a special stipulations to be sure that says that it only refers to, because a lot of these things can still be inferred.
Right.
Because they're actually enforceable under many businesses without a contract.
I
See what I'm saying? Just as a regular business deal.
And it's a different, and we know the rules are a little bit different as it relates to the NFL sports.
That's
and you're talking
right.
about a whole bunch of millionaires.
For a lot of crazy reasons, they get certain, and it's very arguable whether that should be happening.
Yeah, right. See, because the nature of what they do, they take advantage of the social media impact that they like to promote upon the community and the fan base. They put them out there to market, be in contact, sign, do all this stuff. Come in contact, be close to the fans as much as possible. At the same time, we want to penalize you. And I said, now, between what I see is going on here, I said, look, if they find out that there's a rule that says that we can enforce what we want on you when we don't have a contract, then it's done. It's over. Penalties
that's
are
why I
coming.
said you actually have to have stuff that's typically not, because still, even without those kinds of things, just say you work for Walmart and you get just drunk in public.
Right.
They could almost every business has hiring rules that allow them to fire you just by doing certain conduct they say is unbecoming. That's built in there.
Right.
So you would have to be having something that went against that, like the union rules, blah, 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 blah.
Right.
But I don't know. But I'm sure that the legal people know.
No, I think they do. It reminds me of being a temporary employee.
But if they made a mistake,
get the full benefits and representation.
Yeah, even though like I said, unless you have that specifically carried out and as wordage like that, then I would tread very lightly, because as far as I know, that is something that any company can hold against any employee.
Well, anybody can sit back and enforce
for
their
any
choice. Behavior. Right. If they choose to go out and say this, the one thing we always know this, and it kind of reminds me of the Gladiator film that came out in 1999. The companies and everybody are going to make moves, but the first thing they don't want to lose are fans and revenue.
That's what I'm saying, because remember now, Vic, they're firing people over their Facebook accounts.
Right, I know that.
So that tells you that there's that corporates structures have certain.
Right. They have it.
But who's going to fire him?
They're not going to fire nobody
They
in
can't
the NFL.
fire him because he takes his money and goes to somebody else and gets the whole money again.
Right. And I can tell you now, NFL or NBA or anyone NBA making as much money as they do to play,
you
will
can't
never fire
See,
from
it's
Facebook
not a firing
accounts.
thing. It's not a firing, because you need to have whatever action you do. Whether you fire, don't fire, it all comes back to, do you get the money or not?
And they make too much money. That's the part where I see the double standard.
This is where you're totally right.
Here's the double standard that goes for you guys. So
you
guys
like, fire me. That means I get to go take a vacation and you still pay me.
Right. The rule is this, you guys. The rules for people who make under a certain amount of money in business, period, are not the same for people who make a whole bunch of money.
Right.
And the rules are always like that. Now, as long as you are making this a certain amount of money, here's your rules, and they're going to be enforceable. Now, when you make a whole bunch of money and you have buyout contracts, it reminds me of the Disney clash with Michael Eisner and Steve. I can't remember his last name. And they had a conflict of interest, I guess, between both of them some years ago. And he was only signed on for about a year or so. I said, did you notice his exit contract was a $97 million payout? That means I have this rule. When you get paid a whole lot more money than what you was hired for to be fired, you're in a different sphere of influence. And to me, the sphere of influence that James Harrison has right now is the one that I'm going to say this. I applaud that you're smart enough to be tactical. That's what I said. Is he smarter than we give him credit for? And I hate to say this. The Rooney family may pull him to the side. And at the end of the day, they're going to go like this. Is his jersey selling? Yes. Is he like getting a lot of fans to come watch the games? Yes. Is he bringing in is it really a revenue generating person we have here? He says yes. Well, we'll just talk to him and say, hey, cool out. Cool. That's it. That's the penalty he gets. Now you and I, at a low life company, will sit here and get exited out right away. So I'm saying, do you think he was smart enough to get a free shot on Goodell?
I hope. Well, let's play this. I don't know. I'm saying I hope he was. Okay. If not, you're going to hear about it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I agree. Now, let me ask you
because it's a matter of, the whole thing really has to do, it's actually what is the ability of Goodell to find him.
Right.
See, that's the thing.
And I know they're going through the paperwork. They're going to find a way, but let me tell you what they're going to do. People are taking what they call the daily pulse of the fans. And if your rating, it's like an Obama thing. When your rating's high, you do a lot more to keep them high. But when they're low, and this says, right now you're the bane of a lot of people who are not siding with you. Walk quietly and be very deliberate. So let me go to the next one. The next one is, now you know about Mark Tyler because it goes back to Wendell Tyler, the former running back.
Who I played against.
Who you played against.
In high school. Actually, Wendell and I go way back to 7th grade. Yeah. At Audubon.
Yeah, we were on the same track team together. So he was that cat, but his football was his main thing, and track was just kind of the leftover.
His dad also was our mailman.
Yeah, that's a trip. That's a trip.
Wonderful guy.
Yeah. I mean, hey, look. Now we just hope. Now this guy. Look, Mark is a little bigger. I'm not sure if he's faster. He may be, but he's a bigger cat, running back, USC. He's been on the team in his 4th year. Now the issue here at hand is, of course, bad move if you get in front of TMZ or allow TMZ to actually have you going out talking about Kim Kardashian. Whatever, if it means we're all going to get some Kim, or if we're alluding to Kim in a sexual way, whatever it was, I don't have the details. My question to you is that I have a 2-part question. One, if the comments he made were tweeted, would he still be suspended, Mario?
Oh, it makes no difference. Probably. Okay. In general, people make these rules, leave it open enough that, again, it makes no difference what form of media that you use. Just the fact that people discover it. On the other hand, Vic, I thought the issue was that that he was on video appearing intoxicated.
It's another issue also that nobody's addressing.
Because I thought that was the issue. I thought he was suspended for that. I didn't know he was suspended. Is he suspended for tweets, or is he suspended?
No.
I thought he was suspended for being on video.
No, that's the whole
intoxicated and not being representative, quote unquote.
No, that's it. I'm saying, say that he actually made the comments he said and was not on video, and they just were tweets.
Maybe, but here's the thing. Everybody knows that video adds an extra element, good or bad, to your comments. It could actually make it so that people give you a break, or it could be the other way around.
Right.
So, no, I think the video is a big deal on this.
That's why I said, I think the impact that people get to say. If
he might have misspelled everything. You never know.
Well, I'm just saying.
He might have had very poor grammar. I don't know. Just imagine you tweet, and then no one can understand it, then it's okay.
See, I think the severity of what he's going through would have been less. I don't think it would equate to the same penalty, because when you see the video and you take in all the subjects at the matter of hand, there's 3 subjects that's appearing in this video. His intoxication, Kim Kardashian, and the one I think is more severe than any of them is the one where he quotes players getting paid.
Oh,
that's the one.
That's the one, because you're already on a team that's on suspension.
Thank you. So I'm saying they don't care about Kim. Okay.
Mark. Obviously, you're a few fries short of a Happy Meal. Both oars are not in the water, as they say.
Oh, so we are. Wait a minute.
In other words, shut up.
See,
obviously, you don't know when to shut up.
See,
but that may have been the alcohol, because as we know, alcohol has made me talk. We all have done stuff under alcohol that we regret.
Well, here's the question.
Some of them have names.
See, this is why I was saying I have 3 names here, and we're going to find out who was smarter. And there's a scale we're going to get to shortly here, and I'm going to say, well, so far we know the first, our linebacker James, seems like he gets a pat, smart tactically. Mark, it looks like a bad day right now, but yet to be determined.
Because he ain't got the money yet. You got to get the money before you talk. That's the first thing. Wait till you have the money in the bank.
Right. But there's somebody who can trump him. Let's go on to our next one here. I look, the Steelers are running the nation right now when you talk about headlines to a certain degree outside of the NFL lockout or the contract soon to be ratified. Why is Steeler Rashard Mendenhall suing sponsor for his Bin Laden comment? Now, to just give you a kind of a backstory on this, the sponsor is Hanes Brand, which is a parent company of Champion Athletic Wear. They have he has a $1 million deal for 5 years. Yeah.
Okay.
That's the-
Hanes underwear,
yeah,
the
yes.
T-shirt.
Right.
Michael Jordan has a
Right.
extensive contract with them.
Right. Now, I'm going to read over some of the quotes, and I've done something here because some quotes, when people make their tweets, they can have 2 or 3 messages in one tweet. So I broke up the tweet because I think he amazingly should be looked at for what he said after each dot ending in the sentence. I'm saying this for a reason. So I got what I call the common sense meter quotes. Now, the common sense meter quotes are this: 1 to 10, 10 being best, means if you are a 10, you're super dumb. All right? Super stupid, super dumb. So I have 2 quotes. I'm going to say, Martin, you just tell me which one, how it ranks. Number 1, what kind of person, this is a quote from Richard, celebrates death, in reference to bin Laden. It's amazing how people can hate a man they've never even heard speak. We've only heard one side. All right, Mario, 1 to 10. That's a quote. He's standing behind.
You know, I think it's not that different from a whole bunch of people, though. So that was not that bad of one.
You're right.
As 1 to go. So is 10 being bad?
Breast, yes.
Bad?
Bad.
Worse?
Worse.
This is like a 4.
Not bad. I see. I thought the same. I said, he's not
Yeah,
bad.
the only thing that people say is because it's bin Laden. But it's philosophically on a religious level with whole Christian thing.
Right.
That's what. So you can always remind Christians that their religion is that thou shalt not kill, regardless of what the people have done.
Right.
That's their religion.
Right. Now, here's the question at hand. Remember, all of us have a wonderful voice when we are wearing clothes. See, like I have on a shirt. Says Pack Stereo. Little V cut, trying to sell some things. You guys want to check out some Pack Stereo gear? Holla. But anyway, let me just say what really matters. You now represent an organization. They are interviewing you on behalf of the Rooney family, Steeler Nation. At that
That's
point,
different, though.
Well, see,
Because that's different versus the general. Okay,
All right, 1 to 10.
On this next one?
Wait, I'm about to go there. The next one. All right, quote. This is the second part of his statement. We'll never know what really happened. I just have a hard time believing a plane could take a skyscraper down demolition style. I separated these 2 because maybe they are different messages. 1 to 10.
The other one gets you more of a response. This is almost no political, too.
Right.
The percentages of Americans that don't believe the 9/11 story are very high, depending on who you read.
Right.
60% would be a conservative number.
Right.
There are people who say that 80% don't believe the government story.
Right.
So we know at least more people don't believe the government story.
Yeah.
That's at least known.
It's a statistical
Most people don't
survey.
believe the story.
Right.
So I don't think this one, the first one, because of the bin Laden and the polarizing of people around that, is different. But number 2, I think number 2 has no, it doesn't have much political implications, even though all of these things, no offense, all of these things affect sponsors because if you're in the news, that's what people see.
The part that you have to be very careful when you're a 24-year-old man and your testosterone levels are flying through the roof while you become $1 million baby is that when you sit here and go, I only start evaluating something in the middle of the controversy. I said, let me always remind you to do your research. That the person you're referring to actually was a cooperative participant on both sides of the argument, on both sides of the nations that were at war with each other. So don't start looking at him at year 2001. Go back to look at that. This person was covert in cooperation with the United States. He is a product of the system he's very aware of, which is documented. And I said, so start your argument back there when you said, I've only heard one side. I said, he participated in the same people you're going to allude and possibly blame for giving false information. I said, so even if it is false.
But he's not a news source. It's not held to the same.
I know, I'm saying this. I said, well, you start off saying, I've only heard one side. I said, so are you saying that he is what? What is the message you're saying about bin Laden?
He's saying that you have. I didn't disagree with the message. The message is that you've only heard once promotion because most Americans have. Again, if the question is how it's going to affect sponsorship,
that's it.
That's different because it doesn't make any difference, kind of. Even if you were to come out and say, let's kill him.
Right.
That could equally get you.
Of course.
Maybe not equally, but
Well,
it
you're
could
not
also
supposed to- you're not
cause
supposed
you.
to threaten.
It could also, let's get, if
Right.
it's all about image. They want you to look like, the wonderful,
Right. Right. I know. Look, I agree with you.
So that's what I'm saying. So either one of them can help.
Look, if every organization in the NFL could have a football fan made up in Tim Tebow, they all sing
Right.
Happy Days.
Exactly.
So you won't see Tim Tebow making quotes like this. So
No.
regardless of the truth or
But-
not, they're saying you're taking a position of opinion that a sponsor has to carry supporting you.
Well, that's where if you're seeking those kinds of sponsorship, then you have to tread lightly. But again, as we know in today's world, these are the same things that affect people like us.
Right.
But then you also look at the people like Comedy Channel and other ones. That's where they make their stuff.
Right.
So again, it's a double-edged sword. It just comes with the territory.
Yeah, and then I agree. They say when you got to be smarter, and as you notice that there's a woman looking in a mirror behind me on my left-hand shoulder. Obviously, she has hair and wants to play with it during my broadcast segment of sports. You got some
She
sports
has
to talk
hair. I
about?
thought that they were shaving that today.
You talking about sports, or you just trying to look fine? How you doing? How you guys? This is DeVoe, who's going to be coming in on the hot pick segment. So she's going to stand behind me and tell me how she has these bicycle women who can't wait to meet me.
Bicycle women are those women who ride bicycles or women who steal bicycles?
All right, let me finish
Who are
up.
on bicycles?
That's cold, man. I call them bicycle women. I like it. It's
Well, you
catchy.
can go back and get in the camera view if you're going to be in there.
I'm just looking at you.
Or you can go back over there because then we can at least see you.
Me. I know that.
Yeah, that's
I
okay.
can make faces.
Oh, see, that's why she's enjoying
Okay, so
this part.
you can't see the hidden camera. The one that's coming up your pants leg.
That's cold. All right, you guys, we're going to go over to this other one. So Mario and I both agree. The first part of the statement, of course, that's made by Richard, seems to have a little bit more weight. Would you agree? Just a little bit more.
Well, wait, more controversy.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. I say
And
it's a
the
little
other
bit more.
one also has controversy is just that it happens to be controversial in a place
Yeah.
where the majority of the population actually agree.
Yeah.
The
and-
majority
and
of people
that's-
in this country do not believe the government story on 911.
Right. No, that's not.
They just don't.
Yeah. See, it doesn't. It's not. They're taking the position of going like this. Let's say that you're right and you follow the majority of Americans. You are still being supported by a sponsor. That is not why we are going. Even if you're right, we can't
Exactly.
support you. So
Yeah.
it's a bad move. So before we go any further, we're going to rank who we think Mario was the smartest and the dumbest of the three people we just covered. We start off with James Harrison. We ended off with our boy Richard Mendenhall, and then we had Mark Tyler, who basically was on the TMZ video. Who do you think basically said, smart cat, timing, strategic? Who was the smart one?
Oh, well, I can approach it the other way. Who was the stupid one?
No, I don't want
Mark Tyler.
Mark.
Because Harrison, it depends. You know what? See, the issue is sometimes whether or not that ends up hurting him or helping him. It gains you in folklore, but is it sort of like masturbation? In other words, what I'm saying is sometimes when you get public and cuss someone else out, embarrassing them,
Right.
it's almost like wetting your pants in a dark suit. You get a warm feeling, but no one really notices. Okay.
He makes some unique analogies.
So what I'm saying is, a lot of times you make this big demonstration and it doesn't mean anything or add up to anything, but you can feel all wonderful about it because you got a chance to cuss him off and cuss him out and all that kind of stuff. So I don't know how valuable it is, but it certainly may not end up hurting him at all. That's why I have to leave Harrison's alone. I'm neutral on that.
I know.
But on Mark, I think it was stupid. Because he don't
right.
have the money yet.
Right.
And he hasn't proven himself yet to be that kind of a player.
So rating the number one, that if you had to rank them in order of smart, if you want to call one,
Smart.
or the smart, let's say strategic, strategically more effective, because it won't deal with right or wrong. The third is Mark Tyler.
Yeah, because I don't think
terrible.
you know if any of them are strategically effective. I'm just saying some are just obviously not effective.
Right, and I'm saying
You just
I know.
answered the
I know
question.
what
No,
he's doing.
because
I know what he's doing.
I can't answer the question in a way that gives the impression
Right.
that I don't have.
Right, with the.
See, in other words, I can't answer the question in a way it makes it look like I think Harrison's move was strategic. Because to me, it wasn't necessarily strategic.
Let me just say this. All through a lot of publications and shows this morning, they've asked the same questions. exactly the same, and they're just offering their opinion. They don't have anything to support whether it's right or wrong. They actually just ask the question. So it's not apparent on Mario's behalf. Don't have to answer it a certain way. They just ask the question.
And DeVoe recognized that a lot of questions have already framed your position by the way it's phrased to you.
Right.
And you have to be careful of that kind of stuff. People can put a question to you automatically, like, is the president a fake or an asshole? See, that's a setup question.
Right.
Either one you do, you don't necessarily believe it, so you have to go into some discussion, right? You say, well, I don't think he's either one, but you can't, but you have to be careful. So I'm just saying.
Well, you know Victor sets you up every time, Mario.
Well, you
He
guys
set some of you up.
You guys are so.
Some people get set up.
Such a.
I'm not sure I get set up.
Hey, look.
New Sports is a setup.
It's not.
New Sports is a setup.
That's because you. Why?
Because Victor be setting you
I
up.
don't. You know what we do?
That's a voice from the sky, everybody.
Right, I know. I can't wait to get you on hot picks in here. But anyway, I'm gonna go into the last section because see, I have fun with the questions because we never get the answers, and the NFL and organizations are never going to provide us with the actual truth. So we get to be in speculative heaven, so to speak. So we can be wrong and right and never proven. So I'm gonna go on to what we call "Do You Believe?" Now you guys, I want you to understand, when you have Do You Believe, and you have a wonderful NFL image like what you see there, Cincinnati Bengal, and I didn't update the names underneath. That's not Darren Clark because I failed to update that information.
About to say, that's interesting.
Right,
Darren Clark, damn.
No, that's Cedric Benson. Cedric Benson. So, look, the bottom line is Cedric is, one of the people who's recently in the news. Do you know the story, Mario, about
I
Cedric?
heard he assaulted his roommate, but I wasn't sure if the roommate was a man or a woman.
That's what's going to be a trip because you know what?
It sounded like his roommate was a man.
It sounded like, didn't it?
Was it? Because I was about to say, ooh, did he bitch slap his male roommate? Now, that's an interesting story.
Right. See,
A big-ass NFL player going, use ass.
right.
I want to see it.
Right.
Either way, it's funny.
Even having a male roommate at the level that he's at is interesting.
See, DeVoe hits the. Were you trying to duck? You can't duck. You can't duck.
I was just saying. That's all.
Okay,
I'm not
all right.
in this. I'm just
Well, this.
Get out of there. When she goes down, that looks very suggestive.
I noticed. I said, whoa.
Yeah, watch out. I was like,
Wait a minute.
damn.
Yeah, commercial.
Yeah. Auga.
Commercial. All right, you guys. Let me just say this. All right. First, do you believe the Cincinnati Bengals lead all NFL teams with the most arrests? And when I say arrests, since 2000 with 35, and are planning a reality show.
I believe it if you say so, but I don't know that the Bengals are planning a reality show. Some TV channel might be planning a reality show of the former players who now out of jail.
See what he
Much
does?
to the chagrin of the Bengals, who would be totally embarrassed.
He's protected himself. Let me just say this. I am kind of shocked that they are the leaders as it relates to, of course, off the field incidents, and they're number one. Try to pick the number 2 team, Mario. Who do you
Tennessee.
think? No, not.
Because Pac-Man got everybody.
No.
Whoever Pac-Man plays.
Right. No, but it's a trip. Who number 2 is, and you would never guess. It's actually the Minnesota Vikings.
Oh, okay.
So it's kind of one of those teams where you wouldn't think of. The Raiders cannot hold on to the mantle of the team that has all the bad B-side players.
Who are Minnesota? Did you happen to see that?
I didn't. They had a number of incidents going down over the years. Nothing recent.
All they do is ice fish, I thought, down there.
You know what? You're wrong.
What else is that to do in Minnesota? Ice fish, hunt. It's like a lot of nature things.
Let's go. All right, you guys, here we go. We're going to go with the last Do You Believe. And the last Do You Believe is Cincinnati Bengal. Do you believe that Cedric Benson was arrested for a misdemeanor assault for bitch slapping his roommate?
That's what they said.
Did they say bitch slapping?
No, but they said slapping. What other kind of slapping is there? Almost all slapping is bitch slapping. Except because sometimes it's either whether you slapping them like you want to call them a bitch. So almost all there is a such thing as a man slap.
Right.
You don't get to see it a lot.
Right.
Because even when men slap, it's more like a bitch slap.
Right.
So I don't know. DeVoe, if you want to come up, we'll demonstrate some slapping behavior.
I'm waiting for Hop.
Could you show a cheek or a butt cheek?
Yes or no, Mario? Why does it have to have this long dialogue?
Because they need to know about bitch slapping.
Or
That's why I invited you up here.
All right, you guys. Let me go on and repeat because I know the fans are
I
going
was gonna
like,
let you slap me.
We
See,
know-
you didn't know what I meant. So you assume I meant I was inviting you to slap me.
see, that's cold. All right, you guys. Here's the question because there is
Look
an
at her rubbing
answer.
her hands.
I know
Get ready.
there's an answer to this. Okay, do we believe or do you believe Cincinnati Bengal running back Cedric Benson was arrested for a misdemeanor assault for bitch slapping his roommate? Yes, he was arrested for assault on his roommate, who he thought would be out of his roommate status a few days earlier. No, he did not bitch slap him. He hit him with closed fists repeatedly.
So that's a yes and no question.
Yeah, it's one of those catch-22s.
You. That's why Mario can't answer right. Again with the trick question.
Any woman worth her salt will be up on the mic.
Wait a minute.
Any woman,
Mario.
any true woman,
Mario,
any true empress.
she came to your
That must be one of those pseudo empresses
She
back
came
there.
to your defense, dude.
I did.
She switched from my backing me up to switching to you.
Okay, take it all back. Mario, you're a jerk.
Okay, but they know that.
So
All
what
right.
else is new?
All right, you guys. So, hey, my do you believe is over. I just want to let you know that Eric Benson, you need help, okay? You don't walk up to your roommate out of nowhere and then just start hitting him with closed fists repeatedly.
Walk up on him and give him the tongue.
See, you're wrong.
Ladies and gentlemen,
That's been my
ladies and gentlemen, there it is.
I can't take
Victor
this no
Allen,
more, man.
written and produced, New Sports. That's right. If you have any complaints whatsoever, write to paxtrail.tv to Victor Allen. Say, I don't like that shit you call sports. Hey, we know what you mean. Tune in.
see what happened?
Oops.
See, he's framing. You see how he framed my segment?
oops.
He just framed
Well,
my
we
segment.
had to vote here.
No, he framed my segment with
I
if you
told
don't
him.
like.
I told him to write you. Because these sports people, they nasty, I'm telling you. Evil.
Wait a minute.
Some of them evil, DeVoe. You have to see them.
Right. He goes after. Let me show you. What
I'm
he
telling you,
does.
some of them
He
sports
goes
people
after-
are just crazy.
He goes after the big companies and sticks it to them all the time.
Ooh,
Thank you,
yeah,
Russian TV.
take it, ooh.
Thank you,
Yeah.
Lamert Park TV.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yes, he did.
And he disses them all the time.
No.
Now, I come up here and I simply have questions, and he goes like,
Now, you had them set up cosmopolitan
I have
questions.
to admit, Victor,
Those jacked up questions.
you do be doing trick questions.
You see,
be doing
I don't
trick
get no
questions.
support on it. You see what I have?
I
You look
tried.
you look a lot lighter on the camera.